This is take number 3, and reading through it 2 times before this has made me kind of emotionally exhausted, imagining the video as I want it to turn out as I'm reading the script. By the way, welcome to American Geordies, a show I'm making directly inspired by Friendly Geordies and his work down in Australia. I've been waiting too long for someone to do what he does over here in the States, and I have just decided to hit record on my phone and do it for them. I was looking for something to become episode 3 of my little show here, but what I found today I think is worthy of being my episode 1. And I'm actually recording this so urgently I didn't memorize the script, so it's right here. I'm going to be reading it. The content you are about to see and hear is very disturbing. It contains depictions of self-harm and extreme acts of protest. We've edited it down to make it safe for YouTube, but if you're easily disturbed, I suggest you jump ahead or click off this video now. I should put a timestamp for you to move to somewhere on screen here. Alright, if you're still here, that means you've committed. Let's start by playing the clip. Viewer discretion is advised. For context, this took place in front of the Israeli embassy.
Is Aaron Bushnell. I am an active duty member of the United States Air Force, and I will no longer be complicit in genocide. I'm about to engage in an extreme act of protest, but compared to what people have been experiencing in Palestine at the hands of their colonizers, it's not extreme at all. This is what our ruling class has decided will be normal.
I will not show the rest of this video. Perhaps I already showed you too much. But what happens is as follows. Concerned bystanders ask if he needs help as he fails several attempts to get his lighter to ignite the flames. Finally, he reaches to his feet and ignites the puddle around him. As the flames creep up his body, he starts chanting, "Free Palestine! Free Palestine!" Louder and louder as he forces his voice through the flames. He screams in pain and begins to flail as his skin turns black. Then he remembers his purpose and continues screaming, "Free Palestine!" until his clothes fall off and he succumbs to his injuries, losing consciousness and falling to the side. His charred black legs are still unframed, with fires still taking his body. Law enforcement rushes to exterminate the flames, frantically looking for fire extinguishers within their team. All the while, a man dressed in all black aims what I'm optimistically inclined to believe is a taser onto the victim's unconscious body. They finally put out the flames around the same time someone off camera frantically aims the camera away from the scene and onto a police vehicle. The video ends here. The service member's name is Aaron Bushnell, and he has since died as a result of his injuries. This was not his true final message. Before committing this act of protest, he sent this message out on Facebook with a link to his Twitch channel, where this was live streamed to reach maximum uncensored viewership. The post reads, Many of us like to ask ourselves, what would I do if I were alive during slavery, or the Jim Crow South, or apartheid? What would I do if my country was committing genocide? The answer is, you're doing it right now. End of post. I'd like to overanalyze this for a moment and point out how he didn't make a grammar mistake that I can easily notice. Which means to me that he played around with this idea in his head before committing to this act. He made sure to cross his I's and dot his T's and leave us with a hard-hitting message that we couldn't ignore. And he succeeded. My personal opinion on his actions are as follows. Martyrdom is for fools. You only get to die once. But once someone has died, the last thing you should ever do is throw away what they stood for or the message they left behind. That is their life after death. That is to say that no one listening to this should romanticize what he has done or attempt to follow in his footsteps. But you'd be trampling all over the effort and discipline he put forth to commit an act that in his mind was potentially heroic and or necessary. If you didn't feel the urge to be angry about the genocide, you should now. Carry his intentions with you and live to fight for what he believed in. This is the best way to honor a soul that has passed for something it deeply believes in. Let's take a moment to reflect on his actions and what kind of things he gave up to deliver his message, to make us listen, the plans he had in life and a future he dreamed of. I encourage you to think of him not as a hero or a martyr, but as your neighbor, because he was someone's neighbor, he was someone's friend, he was the son of two parents, and he caused them all grief to share his message with you. I do not claim to know what he wanted by doing this, but I have coped with loss before. If he has reached you, I encourage you to do even the smallest thing to carry his message. The bare minimum thing to do is research. Learn for yourself what is going on over there. I'll be the first to admit that not even I have researched the conflict yet, but it's becoming apparent to me that I should in the near future. Making this video is how I'm coping with these feelings this incident has bestowed upon me. His message reached me, and I hope it reaches you too. Keep an eye out for future videos. I have 2 scripts already done. One for a video, a deep dive into the cost of living in America, and another video that gets some information on the Kroger-Albertsons merger. I'm excited to share these stories with you, and I hope that I made the right choice picking this for my first story, because I think it's the most important story. Like, subscribe, and share to spread his message and mine to your friends, your family, your fellow Americans, and to help fight for those who can't fight by themselves. That is the power of news. That is the power of getting the right information to the right people, is to help those who can't fight arm themselves with wisdom and put terror into those that don't want this kind of information getting out. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.